Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the year. It's the Royal Rumble, everybody's favorite premium live event from WWE. And, a lot of rumors, a lot of stuff have been talked about for the Royal Rumble. And very recent news are changing the possible outcome of the entire men's Royal Rumble match. So in this video, we'll be looking at who, in my opinion, will be the possible winners of the 2024 men's Royal Rumble match. I will also be doing this version of the video for the women's Royal Rumble match, talking about possible predictions, picks. Um, to make these predictions, I'm basing myself on rumors, on news, and on what I personally believe or I would personally like to see. Okay, now this is actual information. It's not because I say that this person will win the match that it will actually be this person. Okay, I'm just speculating. I'm just talking about what I believe, and we're going back and forth. So let's jump straight into it. But before I talk about the actual names of the possible winners for the Royal Rumble match, I want to talk about a big news that dropped recently that could possibly change everything. So, if you've heard, I've also talked about it in my recent episode of the Villain Arc. Seth Rollins, the current World Heavyweight Champion, is injured. Okay, he injured himself in his match against Jinder Mahal. Um, and we'll get more information on tonight. Actually, as you're seeing this, we'll get more information on what does the future hold for Rollins. What does he do with the title? Blah blah blah. Because apparently it's a serious, well, not necessarily serious injury, but it's something that could have an impact on his next few months in the business. Even wondering if he could actually make it to WrestleMania, which is big. So, the rumors are that possibly the Royal Rumble match this year, the men's Royal Rumble match, would be for Seth Rollins' vacant World Heavyweight Championship, which is very crazy. It changes everything, honestly. And, so it brings a lot of questions in regards to this, what's going to happen if they, because the rumors were for Seth Rollins to take on CM Punk at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. But if Seth Rollins isn't there anymore, what happens? So some of the picks that I'm going to make are going to be completely based on if the Royal Rumble match is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Because in the scenario that it's not, and it's just the normal Royal Rumble match where the winner goes on to face a champion of their choosing at WrestleMania, some of these picks would never win. But let's go, okay? Number one is CM Punk, obviously. Whatever scenario, let's say that the match isn't for the World Heavyweight Championship, Punk could still win. He's the huge favorite for the match because he can go on and challenge Seth Rollins at WrestleMania for the championship if, everything goes well, if Seth Rollins is fine and ready for WrestleMania. And in the opposite case, if the match is for the World Heavyweight Championship, it could also be CM Punk, He wins the title and then WrestleMania he either defends it against Seth Rollins if Rollins is ready to come back, or he defends it against, you can bring Randy Orton over from SmackDown. You can bring on anyone, honestly. You can bring a lot of people to face Punk at WrestleMania for the championship, and there you go. You have still a pretty big match that a lot of people want to see. If MJF comes back, to if MJF arrives in WWE, which big rumors and probably won't happen, but you could have CM Punk versus MJF at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship, which would be absolutely crazy. Once again, just speculating though. Next pick on the list is none other than Gunther. Okay, yes, he's the current Intercontinental Champion, but as you know, Gunther is getting ready to become a main event talent. He's had an incredible Intercontinental Championship reign, and would possibly be the time for him to finally come into the main event scene and start to shake things up. Okay, and if the match is for the World Heavyweight Championship, I would have Gunther could very well be a good pick. It would be a little early, but then with all the rumors of Gunther facing Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, Gunther versus Lesnar for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, that's pretty big. And Gunther can vacate the Intercontinental Championship. That means that he never lost it. It makes him look good. And you can give the Intercontinental Championship to someone new, and you can have them build up and whatever, and it brings a lot of opportunities. Um, is it still early to put the title on Gunther, in my opinion? Yes, but can he still manage to do some good stuff with it? Yes, as well. Um, but if the match is not for the World Heavyweight Championship, I don't see Gunther winning. because I don't see him challenging Seth Rollins, or I don't see him challenging Roman Reigns. In that case, he still has the Intercontinental Championship, so he's in a, Gunther is in a pretty good spot right now. Let's not complain. Next pick, okay, and I'm gonna explain my thinking behind this, and this is purely based on if the match is for the World Heavyweight Championship, is Finn Balor. Okay, listen, I have a crazy plan for this. It's actually crazy. Finn Balor, okay, the match is for the World Championship. Finn Balor enters the match, ends up winning the Royal Rumble match, so he becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. And then at the end of the match, he's celebrating with a championship, celebrating his victory, and then Damon Priest cashes in. Priest cashes in on Balor. Fights him in a one-on-one match straight up. Priest beats Finn Balor, and Damon Priest at the end of the night is the new World Heavyweight Champion. So Finn Balor will still have won the Rumble. He'll have won the World Heavyweight Championship, that he deserved, because he's been pretty good recently. And if it wasn't that, WWE wanted Seth Rollins to be the face of Raw, Finn could have actually been World Heavyweight Champion by now. And now we can set up for, the whole Judgment Day split up. And you can have Finn Balor taking on Damon Priest. You could have it at WrestleMania. You could have it at Elimination Chamber, whatever. And you can make your changes and get ready for WrestleMania, Or you could have Balor versus Priest, but it's actually in the Elimination Chamber match. So you have Balor, you have Priest, you can add in Dominic Mysterio, whatever. You add a couple of people, and you add CM Punk as well in the Elimination Chamber match. Punk ends up winning the World Heavyweight Championship, goes to WrestleMania, and Seth Rollins comes back in time and challenges him for the title. So at WrestleMania, you still get CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, if Seth Rollins is ready to compete. But during that time, you'll have had the split up of the Judgment Day. Finn Balor would have been champion. Damon Priest would have been champion. He cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase, so this whole question is settled. And then at WrestleMania, you can finally have the one-on-one match between Finn Balor and Damon Priest. That doesn't necessarily need the World Heavyweight Championship to be a good and interesting match. There you go. Okay, book me, WWE. I'll become a writer. Okay. But yeah, I think it would be a great idea. It opens up a lot of doors, and it gives some recognition to Finn Balor and Damon Priest, who have been huge workhorses in WWE recently. They've done a lot. They've been to every show. And it maybe not yet, okay? It depends on some people, but I think it could be a great opportunity to split up the Judgment Day and see how they can do on their own now. Because they're not going to keep them together for like 10 years, So, I think it would be a great idea. Once again, it's not my decision, but it would be pretty cool, let's be honest. Next up, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes would be if the match is not for the World Heavyweight Championship, because Cody Rhodes has this thing with Roman Reigns and wants to win that championship. So let's say that they don't want to make Reigns versus Rock at WrestleMania for whatever reason. Cody Rhodes could win once again the Royal Rumble and challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Don't have much else to say about this. I'm not necessarily for that, because I'm not someone that approves giving the Royal Rumble to the same person 2 years in a row. But if that's what they want to go with, I'm not going to complain either, Next up, The Rock. The Rock is a way better pick in my opinion. I love Cody Rhodes, don't get me wrong, okay? I jumped out of my chair when he came back at WrestleMania 38, okay? Don't get me wrong. But the thing is, The Rock versus Roman Reigns is a way bigger match than Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns ever will be, So The Rock could actually win the Royal Rumble match, makes it official against Roman Reigns for the championship, blah, blah, blah. And then WrestleMania, your main event, Reigns versus Rock, undisputed championship, and that's it. Once again, a solid pick if they don't want to try and put it on someone new, or, like, it. For example, okay, if we go with Gunther, that was my pick before, okay? Nothing tells you that the fans will actually be behind this and back you up. It's not a secure pick. Doesn't mean it's not a good pick, but it's not a secure pick because you don't know how people will react, whether it's, all the fans or even the own wrestlers in your company. But it's still a good pick, but it's not a secure pick. The Rock is a secure pick. People are going to like this. It gives you your Reigns versus Rock match. This is a short. Same thing for CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. Those are safe picks, okay? That the crowd will back you up, and and it's believable that they win the Royal Rumble match. Gunther and Finn Balor are some wild picks. I love these picks, but they're not as secure. So it depends, if you want to play with fire. And for my last pick, it's none other than the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is once again a secure pick, especially if, we get into that case that Seth Rollins vacates the championship and the Royal Rumble match is for that said championship. You could always put the championship on Brock Lesnar. If Seth Rollins isn't back by WrestleMania, CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar could be interesting. It happened before, I know, but it could still be a pretty interesting match. It could sell a lot of tickets, Punk Lesnar, it sells a lot, let's be honest. So if they don't necessarily know what to do with the World Heavyweight Championship, in the case that Seth Rollins is really injured and doesn't come back for a long time, Lesnar is always a solid pick. I know it's not the best. I know we've seen this done a lot of the time, but a safe pick, always got to have some safe picks, unfortunately. If you don't want to back yourself up in a corner or get stuck in a situation, whatever, Brock Lesnar is still a pretty solid guy to do this. The only thing is that, people really want to see Brock Lesnar versus Gunther, but chances are that Gunther isn't going to challenge Lesnar for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, because first of all, he needs to figure out what he does with the IC title, and then when there are some bigger names like Orton, Styles, Punk, Rhodes, McIntyre, why would you go with Gunther when you have all these other superstars that are bigger names and would probably sell more tickets? You got to remember at the end of the day that, WWE, just like any other wrestling promotion, is a business. They do their best, okay, so that we're pleased, so that we're happy, but sometimes, they got to make business calls and do what's best for business, unfortunately. But it's the truth, and you got to accept that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for my predictions on who could win the Men's Royal Rumble match, okay? Tell me what you think. Do you agree with my picks? Do you think some of my scenarios are cool? Like, the Finn Balor one is actually very nice. I think it could be very interesting and entertaining to see. But who knows, okay? You can watch Raw tonight to see what Seth Rollins says about this whole situation. If he vacates the championship or whatever, we'll know what happens with the Royal Rumble match. I'll try to update you guys as well. And, make sure you subscribe and you got those notifications turned on, because I'll be posting the same exact video before the Women's Royal Rumble match, talking about the different picks and what could happen. Thank you guys for watching as always. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment. It's really free. Doesn't take so much up of your time, but it helps me out a lot. Thank you for everything, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.